So there's a lot of different schedules. The NFL's incredibly strategic. They gave Netflix and Amazon really good schedules. The streaming giants, the richest companies, they can see the future. But you know what I thought of when I saw the Pittsburgh Steelers schedule? I thought Justin Fields looked at that thing and went, oh, I'm going to get some snaps. Justin Fields going to get some snaps. That is the toughest schedule I have ever seen Thanksgiving on in league history. Art Rooney II of the Steelers, owner, said, well, it's not the way I would have put it up, but we'll do the best we can. Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season. He's going to have a losing season, and he'll get hired immediately by one of the streaming giants to be the analyst, maybe Fox, who knows, to be the analyst on TV, in which I believe he'll be absolutely phenomenal like Sean Payton was, maybe even better. But they end the year with a declining quarterback, Russell Wilson, and a kid behind him that wants to play. They end the year with Lamar Jackson twice, Deshaun Watson twice, Joe Burrow twice, Patrick Mahomes, and Jalen Hurts. Thanks for flying United. That is brutal. Mike Tomlin's never had a losing season. I've defended him, but I've never seen anything like that. Now, some of that's just the division's tough, and the quarterbacks are good. But to stack it like that, 8 straight weeks, Lamar, Deshaun, Burrow, Deshaun, Hurts, Lamar, Mahomes, Burrow. It'd be like college football getting 3 Georgias, 2 Bamas, and an Ohio State and a Clemson in a row. There's just attrition. After a while, you can't go into a game with quarterback deficits week after week. Now, conversely, I did think there were 3 teams that got a little bit of a break. Some of it their own doing. Like, people are lamenting what the Niners got. Oh, they face all these teams off a bye. Not every coach is great off a bye. The offensive coaches are. So the Niners are a veteran team with a veteran head coach. So this is a really, really smart team that can play on short rest. They're not rebuilding anything. They get Hufanga back at safety. They've got a couple of young receivers they'll work in, but they kept Debo, Kittle, Trent Williams, Purdy, CMC, Brandon Ayuk. They brought the band back. And look what they face until October 10th. New. Jets and their new offensive line. Minnesota, 2 new quarterbacks. New England, new everything. Seattle, new coach. Rams, really last 2 years, rebuilt the defense. Now no Aaron Donald. New, with a veteran high-Q offense, adaptable against kids. Young staffs, young O-lines, new defenses. Very, very good start for the Niners, who don't need help because they're stacked. I also thought the Dallas Cowboys got a bit of a break. Dallas is top-heavy and a little thin. They can't afford injuries down the stretch. And the 3 most physical teams they play, and the 3 best, Baltimore, Detroit, and San Francisco, they get all of them before week 9. They get them off the schedule, probably at their healthiest. Baltimore week 3, Detroit 3 weeks later, off a bye. They get the Niners off a bye. The 3 best rosters they face. One of them off a bye. By the way, having gotten beaten by them, they'll have a little revenge factor. And then 2 other roster, they're all off the board by week 8. And the Cowboys at the end of the year get a lot of young quarterbacks and average quarterbacks as they're fighting Philadelphia, Washington, and maybe the Giants for a playoff spot. That worked in Dallas's favor, in my opinion. Easy late, tough games done by late October. I also thought the NFL wants the San Diego Chargers and Jim Harbaugh to go 2-0. LA Chargers, sorry. You can argue the 2 weakest, easiest games on their schedule are at home against the rebuilding Raiders, right? New staff, new everything, interim coach, now head coach, new GM, new. You can argue Raiders at home and Carolina Panthers. That's what the LA Chargers would have signed up for. They also end the season where it's a bunch of meh. Denver, New England, Vegas, Tampa. Seems like to me Harbaugh off a natty with a high-profile Michigan program is good for the NFL. He is a polarizing head coach, quirky, NFL saying, we're going to give you a 2-0 start. Now, here's a schedule that on paper, and I've told you this, the NFL is very strategic. On paper, the Jets' schedule looks easy because they don't face a lot of great quarterbacks. But the NFL made it as hard as it could because the Jets generally unravel as a franchise. So the NFL said, we're going to squeeze all the juice out of this orange in the first 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks. The Jets have 5 short week games, 6 late night TV games, 1 international game, 6 primetime games in the first 11 weeks. So the NFL is saying, like when Russell Wilson got to Denver, we don't know how this is going to go. Let's get all we can out of Russell. Denver first year with Hackett. It goes sideways. You're protected. They're doing the same thing with the Jets. They don't know what the Jets are. Got an impulsive owner, a coach in the hot seat. Aaron's old off of surgery. Let's go heavy Jets, early, short weeks, international, night games. That's the toughest Jet schedule possible because on paper it's easy. But I want to save some time for this team. And this team, selfishly, is good for Fox. So the AFC's got more star quarterbacks, and star quarterbacks are good for ratings. Chicago has never had really a truly star quarterback. And there is a belief they finally have one. And I actually looked at the Bears' schedule. And look at what they did. It's a lot like Houston last year with C.J. Stroud. They get no elite defenses from last year until November 17th. They got no elite defense. Tennessee, Indy, Rams is young. Carolina, Jacksonville, Washington, Arizona, New England. They don't face a top 10 defense from last year until November 17th. Caleb Williams isn't opening with the Niners or the Chiefs or the Ravens. Nope. It's a lot of average defenses. He also, Caleb in Chicago, get a lot of 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 a.m. Eastern, a lot of early window games. They're only on prime time 3 times. 2 of those are week 15 and week 17. Not under the microscope, not big pressurized games. Nope. Couple of prime timers late, 1 in week 2. They also get to open a quarterback advantage. Will Levis, rebuilt staff. That's the opener. Tennessee's the opener. That's a good opener, right? Rebuilding their receiving core. Brand new coaching staff. Rebuilding a roster. One of the weaker rosters in the NFL. So you get no elite defenses early. Tennessee to open. No really heavy microscope games of note. Week 2, you're on national TV, but, it is Chicago. Here's the other thing. Look at the quarterbacks all through this. Drake May, Jalen Daniels, Bryce Young, Will Levis, Anthony Richardson, J.J. McCarthy, week 12. So the Minnesota week 12 game, you could put that as the opener, and you're going to get a Sam Darnold. If they go sideways, they'll be playing J.J. McCarthy week 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. They also don't give the Bears any of those like nitty-gritty divisional games. Detroit, Minnesota, Green Bay, those intense rivalry games that feel different than average games. They don't get any of those. Caleb Williams doesn't get any of those until week 11. So I thought, this reminds me a lot of Houston last year. Remember C.J. Stroud? They open up with the Ravens. Whoa! The Bears week 2 get a national TV game, right? Big game. Exclusive game. And then if you go back to that Houston schedule, they built confidence and momentum off, Desmond Ridder in Atlanta, Colts, Saints, Bucks, Steelers with Kenny Pickett. All of a sudden, this young team with a rookie quarterback and a young coach, you're not sure D'Amico Ryans. I'm not sure if they're good, but they're playing like they're good. I'm not sure if they're good, but they certainly believe they're good because they're beating pretty average and below average teams. So I thought Chicago, and it's good for our business. I love Chicago. I mean, they're not facing any of those big divisional games, not a lot of microscope games. It's a lot of 10 a.m. windows. You open with Tennessee. It's no elite defenses early. You look at that schedule, you could have faced opening week San Francisco, a Green Bay at Lambeau early, Detroit a couple of times. They don't face Detroit until Thanksgiving. Caleb Williams going to have all these starts before he faces the best, most talented roster in his division, Detroit. I thought the Bears got a little bit of a break. It was as if the NFL said, it'd be nice if we could have one of our major markets for our broadcasting partner, since New York's in the toilet. The New York Giants are in the toilet. It'd be nice if we could, make Chicago something. I mean, we have the L.A. Rams, but L.A. is more of a basketball, baseball market half the time. It'd be nice if Chicago, I don't know if Chicago's going to be good, but that's a groove schedule. That's the opposite of the Steelers. That is a groove schedule.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Uncle Colin. Subscribe here to get the latest from the herd, including exclusive behind-the-scenes videos and more, wherever you may be, however you may be watching. Thanks again for making us part of your day.